Nityanandam. My name is Manitya Bhaktikananda Swami, and I am a sannyasi of the Nityananda order. My Sadguru is His Holiness Bhagwan Paramahamsa Nityananda, the living incarnation, the living avatar of this millennium. Today, I want to share with you a very frequently asked question. What is Jeevan Mukti life? Because we hear the word live like a Jeevan Mukta, have a Jeevan Mukti lifestyle. Now, what is this Jeevan Mukti lifestyle? It can be understood from many different dimensions. And today I want to share with you from a few dimensions that will be very easy to understand and if experimented with will make a huge difference in your life. So what is Jeevan Mukti lifestyle? Means what is living like a liberated being while you're living in the body. See, we very often hear people say, oh God, I have to, they'll pray to God, I have to go quickly, help me to finish all my responsibilities and pack up and leave quickly. See, when we're going to go, how we're going to go, we can bother about later. But when we're living, we have to live like a liberated being. That is very, very important. So there's no point in praying that we have to go quickly or we have to go in a proper way, in a good way. When we are living, we have to live in such a liberated way. So that is Jeevan Mukti lifestyle, living as a liberated being. Liberation from what? To understand it very simply, liberation from your lust patterns. Looking into yourself and understanding that you are enough unto yourself, you are a fulfillment unto yourself, and there is no need to search for something external to fulfill you. And inside yourself, there is Purnatva. What is called Brahmacharya, very simply. Understanding the lust pattern and completing with it and seeing where, seeing the difference between or rather identifying our own violence in the whole process and completing with that. This is one of the liberations in a Jeevan Mukti lifestyle. Second, completing with our fear patterns and living in a liberated way in that dimension. Fear of what? Fear of so many things known and unknown. And understanding a very important thing that all our fears are finally related to our fear of death only. Although tangibly at the surface level we may not know the connection between our everyday fears and the ultimate fear of death that we carry. So deciphering fear and understanding how to go beyond the known and unknown fears. So liberating ourselves from fear in that one sense. Third, liberating ourselves from our worries. How to move from continuously worrying about something to acting, taking the right action and being liberated from the worry. And understanding that worry itself is not going to be useful. Just see what the issue is clearly and only filter out the action item and do the action item. Then automatically there will not be any worry. And understanding that worry is 99.99% of the time the food for the ego to chew on. Because if there's suddenly no worry, if all the worry from your life is pulled out, you'll realize that your ego is feeling so insecure. You'll start feeling there's nothing to do, and start experiencing a very deep insecurity. This is actually uh, a very subtle truth of life, which we may not even agree at the surface level. That if all our worries are pulled off, we'll feel insecure and empty. And that is why we choose to chew on our worries. Because actually, if you see, 99% of the worries never come out to be true. And the 1% that comes out to be true can be handled so responsibly and in a matured way instead of just chewing on it as a time pass. So liberating ourselves from the worry pattern. Next, liberating ourselves from the need for attention from others. This is manifested almost like a disease in humanity today. If we observe ourselves very closely, right from the questions that we ask to others, to our conversation, to what we are actually talking to each other, everything you can map it back to attention need. If we remove the need for attention in our life, you will find that 99.9% of your conversations are cut off from your life. There is no need for them. So, this is a very important truth to understand how you can liberate yourself from attention need. Attention need can get so deep that it can manifest as disease itself, so that you can attract attention. Next, liberating yourself from jealousy and uh, competing with another. Understanding that you are unique and only increasing that uniqueness and making that flower more and more, rather than spending your energy in seeing another and comparing and getting caught in jealousy, which is only going to be only going to put you in low energy. So liberating yourself from jealousy and comparison. The next, liberating yourself from your own ego. The ego will manifest itself in multifold cunning ways. So how to liberate yourself from that ego? You might be a person with active ego, a person with passive ego. Passive ego means it will bend like a rubber tube. You won't even know you have it. In fact, you'll think you're a very humble person and that you not carry ego, but your ego will be so difficult and so cunningly hidden. Active ego is easy. Everyone will know you're egoistic and arrogant and it'll be very easy to break. Anyway, whichever category you might be in, liberating yourself from the various manifestations of ego and differentiating between what is ego and what is your individuality. Next, living your life with such deep gratitude towards the whole of existence and towards every being and everything in your life. So, moving from a feeling of inadequacy or a feeling of shortcoming all the time to a uh, life filled with gratitude. So, liberating yourself from all these very important seven points where we are usually stuck, and above all, infusing the consciousness component in your life. Looking into your own conscious growth every moment. Because as a human being, it is our consciousness that we need to nurture and care for. And that has been the hallmark of our ancient Sanatana Hindu Dharma, the Vedic tradition. Every single teaching in it has been focused only on our conscious growth as human beings. That is why Hinduism or Hindu Sanatana Dharma is not a religion, it is a lifestyle. Why do we say it is a lifestyle in such a generic fashion? Because if you've taken birth as a human being, you need to attain the highest form of consciousness. Therefore, it needs to become a lifestyle for you. That is why we use the word lifestyle and we say it is beyond any religion. So, above all, infusing consciousness into your life every moment, listening to the great satyas, the truths of great traditions like the Hindu Sanatana Dharma, and implementing it in your life and living it and seeing the difference it can cause in your life. Anything in life, uh, your life itself, you need to see a change or a transformation where you yourself feel a breakthrough from wherever you're stuck, and you know consciously you move to the next level. So that continuous conscious breakthrough is a scale of measure of a Jeevan Mukta's lifestyle, a Jeevan Mukti life. So a life to be lived as a Jeevan Mukta is very important, because it's not enough if you just pray that in my last moment I have to attain, liberation. It will not happen also, because you can't expect to be, chanting so many different words in your life, like Coca-Cola, this, that, and then finally say Shiva Rama in the last few minutes, and then expect to be liberated, because it has not even scratched the surface of your consciousness. So it cannot happen that way. It has to be infused when you're growing. The consciousness has to grow as you are growing. That is the only way today. And that too today, especially when the human mind has become so exposed to to so many unwanted things, and the cerebral layers have grown so thick, and it is not so simple like the yesteryears. It becomes very important to very consciously enter into the life of conscious living, and be aware that you are in it and you are not off the track, and nurture your consciousness and see yourself being liberated from these seven major uh, emotions that we discussed, which is the lust, the fear, the worry, the need for attention, the comparison and jealousy, the ego, and finally the connecting to a life of eternal gratitude. So this is one way of explaining what a Jeevan Mukti lifestyle is. And having taken human birth, it is very important to live a life of Jeevan Mukti, for which the living incarnations come down again and again, and we need their help to come on to the right track to live a Jeevan Mukti lifestyle. So that is what I want to share in today's video. So you can please drop any of your questions below this video, and I will be so happy to answer them. Till my next video, Nityananda.